Okay, hi everyone, thanks for your attention. My name's Ian Pulford, I'm the head of Ohmio in the UK. Ohmio is an autonomous vehicle company. We are providing vehicles for the first mile, last mile autonomous operation. So if you haven't been on board, there's no steering wheel, there's no driver's seat. It's got a joystick for moving it to and from the start of its route, and then the plan is obviously that it works autonomously. So why is that relevant? Well, I don't know if you're aware, but the government is moving towards autonomy as operation, going through bills in Parliament. So sometime September 2025, early 2026, it should be that you can remove a safety driver from a public vehicle, and you'll be allowed to then take a vehicle like this. I won't step in front, I'll just move back. So the vehicle takes 8 passengers, seated. We have got them running around different places around the world. There's a version in Finland which has 14 seats, but the version we're running in the UK is 8 seated passengers plus a safety driver. And as I said, the safety driver will be able to move out of the vehicle probably end of September 2025 or 2026 based on government regulation. That's on public roads. In private, you could remove the safety driver earlier. So the idea is eventually there'll be a control room where you'll be able to teleoperate the vehicles. You'll have 2 or 3 safety drivers in that control room, and maybe you'll have 8 vehicles out on the street. So you can see the benefit then of managing a number of vehicles. What you might see at the front and at the back is the big lidars, and along the sides you can see the lidars. So the vehicle can sense everything around it, and maximum speed 17 miles an hour, and that's basically a limitation that we put on it so that we can allow it for certain regulations to drive in the UK. You're going to open it up. Obviously if it was in normal traffic, the vehicle would keep its distance with the car in front, and it would just follow in normal traffic. It's planned to run in mixed traffic. Where are we in terms of deployments in the UK? I've got 1 vehicle down at BT's Adastral Park, their labs down there. We've got 2 one at Cranfield University, where we're using their test track there. Those 2 vehicles will move to the centre of Milton Keynes between the train station and the shopping centre from October the 1st this year. So you'll have 2 vehicles up and down in the centre of the city with a safety driver on board, but obviously eventually they'll be removed. And the 3 vehicles, this is one of them. This one's just come from Myra today, and there'll be 3 vehicles running at NEC stroke Solihull Council, working with Coventry as well, Sunil's around. So we'll have 3 vehicles working in this area at the NEC area, plus the business park, and then the hotels and etc. So yeah, we've got 6 vehicles. They're pretty much almost deployed. We are improving the capabilities because at the moment this is all just lidars. We will be adding some cameras around the outside for remote monitoring and for teleoperation. Plus we're improving some additional cameras to detect false positives. This is like, for instance, if you had a paper bag flying across, it would just blow across. The vehicle could see that as an obstacle and then emergency stop. So that those sort of things they're going to make a bad user experience. But by adding certain tech, we can remove those bad user experiences. It's safe because it will stop, but what we don't want to do is stop for what we call a false positive. So there's a lot of work going on. What else can I show you? Do you want to deploy the lift? Oh yeah, okay. Can you bring it up and we'll show? We've also got a wheelchair access lift. So I think that my colleague will just bring it up and we'll just show you deploying that. Yeah, but bring it, get him to drive it manually.
Stop it, drive it
manually. Okay. You see also the way the wheels turn, so we can get a really good turning circle. So you can tell he's manually driving at the moment. He's not. This is not autonomous mode. And in terms of calling the vehicle, we can recognise hand signals if we want using cameras, or we can have it set up to stop at certain locations along the route. So there's all sorts of things you can do from a technology point of view in terms of where you want it to stop.
Just add something about Coventry.
Okay. Sunil's just asked if I mentioned Coventry. Coventry, yeah, so Sunil, we're coming to Coventry soon. Coventry's part of the scale project with us at NEC. So hopefully we'll be on the streets of Coventry very soon as well. So as you can see, the wheelchair lift, wheelchair comes on. I'm going to jump off. Gosh. Right, okay. So, what can I say? Right, I think we're giving you the demo. In terms of what happened today, we got here this morning. We did a quick drive round using the manual joystick. We recorded the route, and as you just saw, we immediately went to demonstration in autonomous mode. So it doesn't take too long, right? Obviously, in the real world, we'd take a lot more practice runs. We'd program it up to indicate left when it got to this junction. We'd stop it at a stop sign. We'd approach the roundabout and we'd accelerate round a corner. You know, all of these things are programmable, but today we just set it up, demoed it, and just showed it. I think the best thing to do is just, if people want to come and have a look, we can open up and you can have a look on board if you want to, but it's available for demo. So, is that all right? So if anyone wants to have a look, come on board, have a look if you wish. Or so we record the map. If we put it into autonomous, the map here on the right hand side, you can see everybody walking around. You can see all the lidars detecting people and all the things around you. And that is the route that we'd run. And you can see then, yeah, and then it detects and it looks ahead and it uses the lidar to detect people. Here's our driving. If in manual mode, we'd be using this joystick. And you can see we can set up autonomous, manual, neutral, and then the speed adjustment, you know, heating, everything else like that. And as I say, that's the main screen there where you can see the actual route it's going to run, and you can see people. It detects, it's got the red on it because it's saying there's people around it. Yeah?
If you're operating it on manual, do you have to be on board? Or could somebody
Well, the whole idea is that we moved to teleoperation. Once we moved to remote drivers, then we would teleoperate it remotely. So we wouldn't have...
You could have like one driver for sort of 10 vehicles.
Exactly. What if we would have 10? We'd probably have 3. Yeah, and that's the whole idea, to make it commercially viable. We need to be able to remotely teleoperate. Yeah. So that would be the plan. Yeah. So you can see it's reasonable sort of design layout. Yeah. We could have more than 8 people, but from an insurance point of view, it's 8 people, 1 safe driver, so it's 9 people. That's the way it works. But as I said, in Finland, they got 14. New York, we're running 3 vehicles in what we call platooning mode. So the 2 metre separation between the next vehicle and 2 metres behind the next vehicle, and you can then run 3 vehicles. Yeah.
Is that on dedicated?
That's on dedicated route outside of New York, JFK. Okay. Yeah, and there are different implementations in different places. So in Schiphol, we're using it for airside, where we're taking the cleaning crews to the airport, to the airplane, do the cleaning and then back, and that's being done. In Korea, they're on normal roads, running in normal roads. In Luxembourg, it's in the city, the centre of the city. CFL, the transport logistics place as well. And all the way through, you can program all along that route what you want the vehicle to do at any given time. So for instance, we'd say waypoint 257 is that end there, and it's going to turn left. At waypoint 253, it might start indicating left.
I'm just thinking, if you've got just general members of the public coming along, it won't know if someone's going to be getting on or off in a wheelchair.
Well, again, we can do it in the way they did it in Australia and New Zealand. They booked it via app, so you booked it to say you booked it via app. But again, with the teleoperation, you'll still have someone. They just won't be on board, but they can remotely connect. So again, it's down to how you do the app, because it's not necessarily just an app for this vehicle. It's normally a multimodal app. You know, you could have an app that do all sorts of things. Yeah, it's probably going to get a bit warm if you all stay on board for too long. But did you know, if there's any questions, ask. Anyone else want to have a look? You going to come on board? Come and have a look. Can I just move this up?
That's exactly the same.
Oh, that's one. That one's locked. You might have to come around there somewhere. There you are, around that end there.
Thanks.
The next question is how much one of these things cost?
Well, they're quite a lot of money, about 300k at the moment, but that's because of all the technology on board. But as obviously the cost will come cheaper,
Yeah.
the lidars, everything will be coming cheaper. But the main thing is to make it fit for purpose. Yeah.
And is it electric?
Well, it's all electric, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if anyone else wants to come and have a look. So, as I said, 8 seats. So this is our main sort of control panels. This is like the driving area. Please come on.
Okay.
So this is the driver area, and you can see we've got autonomous mode, manual, neutral, and then manual drive. In manual drive, I'll be using this joystick. It's not made to be driven as a manual drive vehicle. Well, the only time you use that is to get it to the start of the route and get it off the end of the route. It's normally in autonomous mode, all right? So what we did earlier was we created an autonomous route, and if you look at this map here, you can see the vehicle sitting in the middle of the road, and you can see this is a route that we created before. So we saved the route, and this is the route the vehicle will follow now if we put it in autonomous mode.
Okay. Can you presume you can just reprogram that or override it if you decide to change?
Yeah, what we do is we go back in here and we load a different route that we've saved. So you save the routes that you want to save, and then you just upload the route you want to use, and then we just say, right, okay, autonomous mode, route 2, route 4, whatever.